Okay, so last time around, we were talking about the types of questions. So we know now that there are two main types of questions. One are factual questions, and the other questions are opinion questions. As we are talking about questionnaire, so questionnaire would mostly have the close-ended questions. Remember, open-ended questions are used mostly in interviews. Interviews are for collecting qualitative data, and qualitative data is collected for exploratory research. So in this chapter, we are talking about quantitative data. Quantitative data means we are talking about explanatory research. So please keep this in mind that questionnaire, close-ended questions, structured questions, close-ended. These questions are close-ended, and we will be using factual questions and opinion questions in it. Okay, then we discussed 5 different types of questions for close-ended questions. So three important ones are, those were dichotomous question, what was in the dichotomous question? It was a factual question having two options only. Di means two. So dichotomous questions mean a factual question having two options. Then we had multiple choice questions. Multiple choice questions were also factual questions, but they had more than two options with them. So if you have more than two options or alternatives, you will call them that type of factual question as multiple choice question. Then we had third important part type, that was rating questions. Now rating question was very important. Rating questions were opinion questions having 5-point Likert scale. 5-point Likert scale. So 5-point Likert scale is there for opinion question. I told you that in your questionnaire, most of the questions which are used for hypothesis testing should be rating questions. Should be rating questions. Remember that. I will show you two questionnaires today. We will discuss those two questionnaires today, and you will see what type of questions are there. So please keep this in mind that when you are doing hypothesis testing, let's say if you have a descriptive research, then in that case, most of the time there will be no hypothesis, right? So if there is no hypothesis, then you can have more factual questions in your questionnaire. Factual questions would be like dichotomous questions or multiple choice questions. They usually give you demographics. Demographics mean I want to know how many of the respondents who have filled the questionnaire, what was their education level, what was their income level, where did they live, like they lived in city or town. So such type of questions are not used for hypothesis testing. When you have hypothesis testing, most of the questions in a questionnaire would be rating questions. Please keep this in mind. This is very important point. I have seen people they will be having dichotomous questions and multiple choice questions, which are actually factual questions, and they will be using it for hypothesis testing. This is not possible. For hypothesis testing, you need opinion responses from the respondents on 5-point Likert scale. Only then you can do hypothesis testing. Inshallah, in week 9-10, when we will start SPSS, the software, I will give you some introduction about that software. You will see that that software will only recognize the 5-point Likert based questions for hypothesis testing. It will only make sense for 5-point Likert scale rating questions. Okay, so please keep this in mind that rating questions are very important for questionnaires. Questionnaires, when you are doing some explanatory research for hypothesis testing. Okay, so last time I believe we discussed the 5 types of questions, right? Rating question, ranking, dichotomous questions. We finished that. Multiple choice, dichotomous. This is, I believe we finished till here, till the 5 types. Did we discuss the 5 types? Dichotomous, multiple choice, rating question, ranking, and quantity questions last time around. Yes, we have discussed it. Thank you. Okay, so let me share with you a questionnaire. This one. Okay. Okay, I have shared with you a questionnaire. You can see the questionnaire now. So see the start of a questionnaire. So when you are designing your questionnaire, I told you last time around, one more thing, one more important thing. You should have adopted and adapted questions. Adopted questions as it is from some previous research, you are taking those questions. Adapted questions, you are taking questions from the previous research, but you are changing the wording of some of them according to your context. In our questionnaire, whatever questionnaire I will show you, it has both adopted and adapted questions. Yes. Okay. So remember why we are taking adopted and adapted questions. Why? Because I told you If you design new questions, you need to test them lot of time. Even when we have adopted and adapted questions, today I will tell you, even then you need to perform a test in order to see the reliability of these questions. I will come to that point shortly. But first, let us see the questionnaire. Look, first of all, you need to introduce yourself. Dear respondents, I, the name student of UTAS SUR, conducting this research for my, let's say you are doing it for your bachelor's. The purpose of this questionnaire is to get data for the identification of, now this is the purpose of the research. So this is related to brand switching. So he described about it. The results of this questionnaire would solely be used for educational purpose. Thank you for your cooperation. So they are telling that they do not need your name who is filling that questionnaire. Only the information would be used for academic purposes. Okay, see, the first part is the demographics. Please select your age group. What is your gender? Okay, first of all, tell me, what is this question? There are three options. First of all, tell me only about the question. Is it an opinion question or factual question? Please select your age group.
It's a factual question, Mr.
It's a factual question. Good. And it has three options, close-ended. So now overall, if you see the question, what is that? Dichotomous, multiple choice, rating question, ranking question, or quantity question? There are five types, right? Dichotomous, multiple choice, rating, ranking, or quantity. If you see the whole question now with the options, the question itself is factual. Then you need to tell me which type of close-ended question is this one. Yes. Is it dichotomous, multiple choice, or rating? Okay, I just give you three options now.
Multiple choice, mister?
Yeah, it's multiple choice. It cannot be dichotomous because there are more than two options to it. So it's a multiple choice question because it's a factual question. What is your gender? Male, female. So this is a factual question again, but the whole question is dichotomous or multiple choice or rating. Okay. Let me share the questionnaire again. Yes. Question number 2. It's a factual question, but you have to tell me, is it dichotomous, multiple choice, or rating question? What is your gender? You can see it on your screen. Dichotomous question. Good. What about the third one? Multiple choice. What about the fourth one? Multiple choice. If you can see, the first part is about demographics. So all of these questions, first 6 questions, are factual questions, which are either dichotomous with 2 options or multiple choice with more than 2 options. Remember, these type of questions will never be used for hypothesis testing. This is just about the information of the respondents who are filling the response, the first 6 questions. Okay, just a second. So the first 6 questions are about demographics. Demographics mean this is the factual information about the respondents. This will not be used. This I can make bar chart for it. I can make pie chart for it, but this will not be used for hypothesis testing. Please visualize it. I can tell how many males and females are there in the survey. Let's say your questionnaire is filled by 200 people. Out of 200 people, how many of them are male? How many of them are female? That type of information. That means it is just a demographic information. It will not be used for hypothesis testing. Remember that. Okay. Now comes the important part. Now there are different, he has provided you the rank. It's actually not the rank. The word should be rate. Rate according to your opinion. And see, 5 means strongly agree, 4 means agree, 3 means neither, that means neutral, 2 means agree, disagree, and 1 means strongly disagree. This is a 5-point Likert scale in different type of words. So this is, you can make it like from 1 to 5 as well. It doesn't matter. Some people, they will put 1 strongly agree, 2 agree, 3 neutral, 4 disagree, 5 strongly disagree. Some will put 1 strongly disagree, 2 disagree, 3 neutral, 4 agree, and 5 strongly agree. It's okay. It doesn't matter how you use the sequence. But the thing is, this is called 5-point Likert scale. And see, these questions, now everyone knows soft drink is an essential part of my meal. I am asking your opinion. It's not your, I'm not asking whether you are doing it or not. I'm asking your opinion about it. So you have to agree to it, this statement, or disagree to this one. So this is on the scale of 1 to 5. I usually change soft drink brands, whether you agree to this or not. On every new purchase of soft drink, I prefer to try new brands, whether you agree to it or you don't agree to it. So now see, all of these questions are based on rating questions. These are rating questions. These are opinions and you agree or disagree to it. So opinion question with 5-point Likert scale, we will call it a rating question. These questions will be used, the responses from these questions will be used for hypothesis testing. Any confusion till now in this questionnaire?
No, Mr.
Okay. I think most of the students in the class, they are still sleeping. Okay, the last part, it's a ranking question. This is, sometimes it is there. I don't know, because I am using as a sample, this questionnaire as a sample. So see, 1 is very important, very unimportant, 2 is unimportant, 3 is neutral, 4 is important, and 5 is very unimportant. And you have to put the number for these. You need to rank them like 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5. So this is like a ranking question. It will not be used for hypothesis testing. One thing more about this questionnaire, about any questionnaire. Research says that when a person is filling a questionnaire, if you give me a questionnaire, okay, maybe I am interested in your questionnaire for maximum 2 minutes or 3 minutes. After that, if your questionnaire is long, I would lose interest in it and I will just tick. I'm sure many of you would have filled questionnaires like that. Then in that case, the questionnaire which you have filled is garbage for me. It is garbage. Why it is garbage? Because you haven't given your right responses. It is my duty as a person who is giving the questionnaire, who is distributing the questionnaires, to make sure to get the right information from the respondents. So first thing in a questionnaire should be that it should be concise. It should be concise. Concise means not very long. So tell me first of all, what do you think about this questionnaire? Is it concise? Is it concise? What do you think? This questionnaire is concise or not?
Mr.
Yes, Mr.
It is concise. Yes, it is concise. It is not very lengthy. So this is a good part about this questionnaire. But second thing, I must ask the respondents important things first, which is important for my hypothesis testing. And then I should ask their demographic information. Why? Even after filling the questionnaire, when I come to the end, even I lose interest in the questionnaire, I will not provide you wrong information about my demographics. If I am male, I will not take female. If my income is high, I will not take lower income. If my education, I will not lie about it. So even if I have lost interest in the questionnaire, I will still give you the right information. If so, the best thing is the demographics should not be at the start. This is a problem with this questionnaire. I can lose interest after this one page. So this includes demographics. Now there are important questions coming on page number 2. Maybe I will not give you the right response. I will tell you right now, I will tell you how to get the right, how to know if he has given the right responses or not. But the thing is, this demographic section could have been at the last, because anyway, I will not lie. I will not give you garbage in this case. If my education is postgraduate, I will take postgraduate. I will not take, you get my meaning. If my gender is male, I will never, even if it is at the last. So this demographics, which is not very important, you can put it on the last. That is a better way. Why? You need to get the right responses from the respondents. So demographics information should be on the last part of the questionnaire, because anyway, none of the respondents would be lying on that part. They will always be telling the truth on the demographics. Even if they are not telling the truth, it doesn't matter, because demographics will not be used for hypothesis testing. Do you get this point? So this is one problem which I tell you. This is concise questionnaire, but at the same time, the demographics should have been at the last, not at the start. Is this point clear? Is this point clear? Okay. Now, how can I know that you have filled the questionnaire with full understanding, or you have just ticked the options? There is a way. The way is that in my questions, I will ask a question which has the same meaning. We call such questions as redundant questions. So somewhere in my questionnaire for rating questions, I will ask a question, 2 questions which have same meanings or with different wording. Now, the question which is redundant and the question which has the same meaning, for both of them, your response should be the same. If you agree to the first question, which is having that meaning, and to the redundant question you are disagreeing, I will automatically know that you are not paying attention to filling the questionnaire. Then your questionnaire, I will just put aside, because I have doubts over it now. So we use redundant questions. For example, See this question. I buy the lowest price soft drink brand that will suit my needs. That means I will look for the lowest price brand. Now see question number 7. Or maybe in question number 8 or 9, I will add a question which will be like this. Maybe question number 9, I will add, which will be like this. I always buy soft drink which has lowest price. Now see, question number 9 and question number 6. I buy the lowest price soft drink brand that will suit my needs. Question number 6 is saying that I will buy the lowest price soft drink. If my response is 4 here, 4 means agree. Then for question number 9, it has the same meaning with different words. I always buy soft drink which has lowest price. My response should be 4. If my response is not same, this questionnaire, that means the person who is filling the questionnaire, he is not attentive now. So redundant question would be used to know whether you are attentive or not. In your college, you fill many questionnaires. Most of the questionnaires, I get the data. And most of the questionnaires, we use the redundant question, and we know who has filled it with attention and who hasn't. So it's very easy to know. Do you get this point? Because if I use bad data means you have filled it without any care, then that is futile, that is of no use. We need data which is filled with interest and with proper attention. We don't want garbage in, garbage out. This is the term which is used in information technology as well, GIGO. If you give me garbage in terms of data on my questionnaire, my results will be garbage as well. So it is my duty, or the person's duty who is collecting the information through questionnaires, to make sure that respondents are attentive. So sometimes we use redundant questions. Not sometimes, every time. Do you get my point?
Yes.
Mister.
What about others? Is there any confusion? Is there any confusion? I'm sure
No, Mr.
more than half of the class is sleeping, but still those who are awake, they can respond. Okay. Okay. So this is one questionnaire. Now let us see another one. You will tell me what are the problems or what are the good things about it. Let us see another one if I have. Yeah, I have. Okay, there is another questionnaire which is about product design. These are not my questionnaires. I have used it. I'm using it for examples. Okay. Your information will be kept confidential and responses will be aggregated for analysis. By filling this form, we assume that you are agreeing to give your consent for participation in the survey. The research appreciates your contribution. I have one problem with these 3 lines. They do not tell the purpose of the research. It's about product design. Okay, so maybe one line could have been added that this questionnaire is about product design, so that the person who is filling the questionnaire, he knows for what purpose this questionnaire is being filled. So this is one problem which I can tell. Okay, so this is also just saying that your information will be confidential. Okay, can you tell me another problem? So they started with the personal information and then the rating questions. Strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, disagree, strongly disagree. You can see that. So do you see any problem right now in this questionnaire? What can be improved in this questionnaire? Okay, it is concise, just 2 pages, which is okay. But any other thing which you want to change in it? Yes.
Maybe he does not use different type of questions that will be the questionnaires maybe boring for the person who will answer
No.
it.
The rating questions are there, the demographics are there. These are the 2 type of questions which are. Look, here is the gender, male, female, age. You have to select the group, education, social status, monthly household income, and then the opinion questions. Opinion questions means rating questions. The purpose of
Maybe
the.
Mr. Not for agree and disagree, and that not write the number to
No, that is okay.
about.
You can change, either you can write the numbers in the, this is why I'm showing this question here. Either you can write the numbers, you can give the scale, or you can just write strongly agree and disagree. Later on, when you get that questionnaire, you can yourself change it into numbers. This is okay. It's the scale is for you, not for the respondent. So whether you give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you tell them or you don't tell them, it's okay. This is okay. Strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. I understand your point. You are saying it should have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he should have given the scale here. But if he doesn't give the scale even and directly write agree and strongly agree, this is okay. Because when this person will be putting the data in the software, he will then assign numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is perfectly fine. No problem with that.
Mr. Look for this question. This is for
No, you are.
product. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why we will write about personal information before question agree and disagree?
Yeah, this is the point. The thing is, the personal information or demographics should be at the last. This should be in here.
Yes.
This is what I am asking. So in general, the mistake in this, or the thing which can be improved, I will not say it's a mistake. The thing which can be improved is that this personal information should have been on the last, as the last part of this questionnaire, rather than at the start, because this is important. These questions are important. So respondent should take interest in filling these questions rather than these questions, which are the personal information. This is what I am asking in general. Good. And they have used the redundant questions as well. See, the product is visually striking. That means product looks good. And see, question number 4 and 6. The product is good looking. So if you say agree to 4 and disagree to 6, definitely the person would know that you are not taking care in filling the questionnaire, because it's a redundant question. The product is visually striking. That means it looks good. And the same meaning is there for question number 6. It's a redundant question, just to check whether the respondents are filling the questionnaire in a proper way or not. Do you get my point? Is the questionnaire clear now?
Yes, Mr.
Just a minute. Okay. So questionnaire is finished. Let us go back to the slides. Okay. For your final research report, you need, if you have quantitative, if you have explanatory research, like your topic, for your research topic, if research topic is based on investigation or explanatory research, which can be descriptive or analytical, you need to design a questionnaire. The final assignment is, of course, a group assignment, group of 2 to 3 students maximum. If you have exploratory research, then you will design an interview. We will discuss inshallah next week. But if you have some topic which is, for example, impact of social media kind of a thing, in which you can find research, you can find literature review, then in that case you need to design a questionnaire. So in your research report, you will add the questionnaire. You will not collect data and you will not analyze it on SPSS. That part will not be included in your final research report, but you need to include questionnaire. I haven't discussed the structure of research report yet. I will discuss it after week 10, inshallah, and your assignment 1 and assignment 2 as well after week 10. After week 9, we will discuss assignment 1. After week 10, we will discuss assignment 2, and in week 11, I will discuss the research report, because they are all related. But keep this in mind. At that time, I will also tell you, if you are going for exploratory research, you need to design interview. We haven't discussed interviews yet. If you are going for some, yes? Or if you are going for quantitative research, that means descriptive or analytical research, then in that case, you need to design the questionnaire. There is no need to collect data and analyze it in some software. Okay? Okay. I'm sharing this. Now I will share with you these slides. Now, when you have designed your questionnaire, there is something which you need to check about your questionnaire. I will give you a simple way out. There is a different way given on the slides, but I will tell you the most common way and the most, I would say, the It is the most convenient way of checking the reliability of your questionnaire. Reliability is a big issue for questionnaires. So reliability of questionnaires is important. How can I check the reliability of my questionnaire? Okay, please understand this first of all. I will, inshallah, in week 11 and 12, when we will be doing SPSS, I will show you this test. This is very easy. There is a test in SPSS. SPSS is a software which is commonly used. I'm sure some of you would have used it in some other course. But at this point of time, just think about it. This software is for quantitative data analysis. The whole form is Statistical Package for Social Sciences, SPSS. Now, in SPSS, or even some, even there are softwares which are like SPSS, they have reliability test. Okay. That reliability test is called Cron-Batch Alpha. Cron-Batch Alpha. You should know the name. Reliability test name is Cron-Batch Alpha. Cron-Batch Alpha. Cron-Batch Alpha test is used to check the reliability of the data. So when you enter the data, how to enter the data in a software, we will discuss it later on. But just imagine when you enter the data, numbers, quantitative data, numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, when you enter it in the software, you first check the reliability or Cron-Batch Alpha. The value should be more than 0.7. The value should be more than 0.7. What does it mean? It means most of the people who are answering your questions, who are responding to your questions, they understand it in the same way. Reliability means understanding. The question which you have asked, everyone thinks the question meaning is the same like you. This is reliability. So the value in reliability test, Cron-Batch Alpha, when you enter the data of your questions in it, opinion questions. Of course, reliability is only for the rating questions. It's only for rating questions. So only rating questions will be the part of it. Demographics questions doesn't have this test. Okay. So only the rating questions you will check the reliability. Reliability means if it is more than 0.7, that means most of the respondents, they had the same meaning of the question as you have asked. It's not erratic. Erratic means someone is thinking something else about that question, someone is thinking something else about that question. If your reliability is less than 0.7, it's a bad sign. That means you need to change some questions because of which your reliability has become low. So reliability test is Cron-Batch Alpha. The value should be more than 0.7. It is checked for rating questions only. And if your reliability, that means you have collected the data and then you can check reliability. That means if your reliability is low, maybe you have to redesign your questionnaire. It happens sometime when you have a questionnaire and you are presenting it to someone, your results, maybe some teacher will ask, okay, all these questions are adopted and adapted. And you will tell, no, some questions I made it by myself. Now he will ask a question that if you have designed some questions by yourself, maybe those questions are not correct. Then you can tell, okay, the reliability of my questionnaire is more than 0.7. That means the questions which I designed were okay because the response is correct. This is one way of justifying some questions which you will design by yourself. Other questions are adopted and adapted. Even for adopted and adapted questions, you need to check the reliability and the overall reliability of your questionnaire. All the rating questions, overall reliability should be more than 0.7. If it is not, then that means there are some questions which are problematic. And you need to redesign your questionnaire and again collect the data. That means again give the questionnaire to someone and they will fill it again. How many sampling? We will discuss it in next week. That is another topic. But this point of time, just think about it. Let's say I have collected 100 questionnaires. After that, I did the reliability test. The value is 0.6. That means no, it's not okay. Those questionnaire, some questions are not okay. I will redesign those questions and again I will collect the data of 100. Now the previous 100 gone, finished. Do you get my point?
Yes, Mr.
So reliability test is important, but the problem, now you can see the problem. The problem is you can perform the reliability test only after collecting data. Only after collecting data, not before that. So do we have any solution to it? Yes, we have. Yes, we have. We call it pilot study. Just a minute, I have to drink water. Okay. So if reliability is clear, we will perform the test, but right now you should know the concept of reliability test. So so there is a problem. The problem is when you have collected your data, then you can check reliability. So there is a solution to it. The solution is called a pilot study. So what is a pilot study? Please carefully listen to it. It's very important for your future research perspective as well. In future, when you are doing research, you must keep this in mind. What is a pilot study? So pilot study is when you have designed a questionnaire, no matter the questions are only adopted and adapted. Even then you have to check the reliability. So how can I save my time? How can I save myself? Yes, it is, but how can we do it for the questionnaire? How can we do it? Let me tell you the easy way out. The easy way is when you design a questionnaire, the questions have, some of you can say, Mr. We have only adopted and adapted questions. Why should we check the reliability? Adopted and adapted means the questions have been used in different studies. Yes, but still in your country, in your context, it is new. You need to check the reliability. It cannot be low. So how can pilot study help us? Pilot study means when you design a questionnaire, just distribute 30 questionnaires. 30 questionnaires. Take the responses on 30 questionnaires and check their reliability. When you check their reliability, if their reliability is more than 0.7, it's okay. Now you can distribute, let's say, your total sample size. What is sample size? We are not discussing it right now. But think you need to collect 100 samples or 200 samples or 300 samples. But you are just collecting first for your pilot study only 30 samples or 30 questionnaires. You will check the reliability based on those 30 questionnaires. And after that, if the reliability is okay, now you are confident. If reliability is more than 0.7, definitely now if you collect 200 or 300 samples more, the reliability will remain above 0.7. But if reliability is less than 0.6, then only 30 questionnaires would be wasted. Not your whole sample will be wasted. Now you can redesign and you can do the pilot study again if reliability is below 0.6. Now you can ask me a question. What is the logic of 30 questions? There is a statistical reason behind it. There is a statistician named Koshran who gave this rule. Koshran said, actually, when we are doing some testing, whatever results we get from 30 numbers or 30 data, 30 number as a data, almost the result will same. Results will not change after it. So that means if our reliability for 30 questionnaires is more than 0.7, definitely for 100 or 200 or 300 sample, it will remain more than 0.7. So pilot study is an important thing. Always conduct pilot study. That means just distribute 30 samples, 30 questionnaires first. Take the data and check the reliability. If reliability is more than 0.7, good to go. Now you can collect your full sample. Full sample means maybe 200 or 300 samples. If it is not okay, no problem. Now you can redesign your questionnaire and only 30 questionnaires are wasted. Do you get the point of pilot study? This is the easiest way. This is the most convenient way
Yes,
of
Mr.
checking
But
the
Mr. I
reliability.
have a question.
Yes.
What the purpose of you must should after 13 question?
Yeah, the purpose is 30 questions. The purpose is if your reliability is low, then you cannot do hypothesis testing on that one. For example, you are showing me the results and your reliability is 0.5. And after that, you have done the analysis. Let's say, I'm just assuming, you have done the analysis about hypothesis testing and you are telling that there are two hypotheses in your research which are accepted. I will say this is not right. Why? Because your reliability is low. So if your reliability is the first thing, if your reliability is low, you cannot do hypothesis testing. It cannot be reliable. This is the first thing. For every questionnaire, if someone is not checking the reliability, it's a big mistake. Maybe if the reliability is low, the results are not valid. Any result which that person will find from that questionnaire. Questionnaire gives you data. Data you will use to accept or reject your hypothesis, right? You cannot accept or reject your hypothesis on the basis of data which is not reliable. Not reliable means the value of their reliability is less than 0.7. Do you get my point? That is why we do pilot study first. If pilot study reliability, only reliability is okay, that means now I can collect the full, I can do the full survey. And from that full survey, there will be no issue of reliability. Now I can be confident based on my pilot study. Is this point clear now?
Yes, Mr. Clear.
So we have discussed some important points today. Not only the questionnaire design, so type of questions now you know. And you know that rating questions are the most important one for hypothesis testing. But before doing hypothesis testing, you need to check the reliability of your questionnaire, even if your questions are adopted and adapted. Even then, because in your context, it is new. So how can you, reliability test is cron badge alpha. The value should be more than 0.7. Now, if you have collected the whole sample, what is sample? We will discuss it inshallah in next week. But if you collected 200 sample and then you check reliability and your reliability is less than 0.7, then there is no way out. You need to, that sample is wasted. The whole questionnaires are wasted. So what is the way out? The way out is pilot study. So pilot study means only distribute 30 questionnaires first. Get that data. Put it in the software. Check the reliability. The reliability is more than 0.7, good. Now you can distribute other questionnaires. But if reliability is less than 0.7, that means there is an issue. You need to redesign your questionnaire. And the 30 questionnaires which you have done before are unfortunately wasted, but only 30. Now again do the pilot study, again check the reliability. This will save. Pilot study saves you time. Pilot study saves your data. Only thing which you need to check first, the first thing in quantitative data we need to check is the reliability. If your reliability is low and you have done the hypothesis testing on it, no one will accept it. Is this clear?
Yes, Mr.
Sir, how can I know if it is 0.7 or 0.5?
Okay, Adil, when we will, right now, it is difficult to imagine, but think about it. There is a software In week 10, inshallah, we will do this. The first thing which we will do will be the reliability test, just to give you understanding. Although you will not be required to use SPSS in the final research report, but for your understanding, we will do it. So you will see that I will put the data and I will run the test on the software, and software will give me the value of Cron-Batch alpha. The direct value will come. The value will be like 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. Most of the researchers, they accept the value of 0.7. Now, if your question is like that, it's a norm to get 70%. 0.7 means 70% reliability. Some researchers says 60% reliability is also okay. But most of them, they think 70% is better. So 70 or more, that means 0.7 or more is better. So it's a norm. It's not a rule. Rule means it's not written in the book, but if you search it on Google, you will find that if you type reliability test, most of the time the Cron-Batch alpha value, you will find it to be 0.7. That means 70%. So 70% is more acceptable as compared to 60% or 50%. So it's not a rule, it's a norm. Norm means researchers, they follow it. They say, most of the researchers, they will say 70% or more reliability means acceptable result. Is it okay, Adil? Yeah, your question was very valid. I missed that point. I need to tell you that it's not a rule, it's a norm. Okay, norm means most of the researchers, they follow it. You can call it a rule of thumb. Rule of thumb means good. 70% or more. If it is less than it, they will say no. Most of them, they will say no. No, your results are not reliable if your reliability is low. Inshallah, when we will do, it's a very simple test. When first of all, we will understand how to enter the data. Then the second thing we will do would be to check the reliability. And then we will use some hypothesis testing. Of course, SPSS software, which I will teach you, is for your future reference, not for this course. But the introduction of SPSS is there in this course. Of course, there is no final exam. And I do not expect that you will be collecting the data for your research report. So I hope when we start SPSS, you will enjoy that. You will try to learn it, because there is no pressure of the course to learn the SPSS. I think this is one of the good things about this course. You would not be pressurized to learn SPSS. So enjoy that at that time. Try to learn it, rather than to be like, oh, if I do not learn it, I will fail. There is no fail and pass for that software, because there is no final exam for SPSS. So such type of things, you can enjoy it at that time, and you would try to learn it with a motivation. Okay. I will end the class here because this chapter is finished and I have to start a new chapter next time around. So this one is done today, section 20. If you have any other question, you can ask.